U.S. President Donald Trump had a self-imposed deadline of July 9th for making trade deals with countries around the world. But with that day approaching quickly and few, if any, real deals coming down the pike, Trump is now saying instead of trying for complicated deals, he is going to simply send letters to countries and tell them what tariffs their goods will face. Tariffs to be collected starting August 1st. Now, to be clear, all indications are that Trump is talking about countries that were targeted on so-called Liberation Day, and Canada was not part of that group. Here is how Trump describes these letters and possible tariff levels.
They'll range in value from maybe 60 or 70% tariffs to 10 and 20% tariffs. We've done the final form, and it's basically going to explain what the countries are going to be paying in tariffs. And it's very important. It's a lot of money for the country, but we're giving them a bargain.
Of course, it's not foreign countries who pay the tariffs. That will fall on U.S. importers and ultimately American consumers. But these tariffs seriously impact countries' access to the U.S. market, as Canada knows well, which is why Canada is hoping for its own deal by July 21st. Now, the U.S. ambassador to Canada thinks that's a realistic deadline, at least for a framework of a deal. And he says he's confident neither country's leader will make a bad deal for their people.
So I think when we get to a trade agreement, I think Canadians are going to be able to look at it and say, wow, this is going to be good for us. This is going to be good for our citizens. This is going to be good for our economy. And Americans are going to look at it the same way. You've got two tough negotiators here. You've got the Prime Minister and you've got the President of the United States. And neither one of them is going to walk away when we get an agreement thinking that they got a lousy deal. They're both going to say there's wins in here for Canada. There's wins in here for the United States. It's a good deal for both of us.
Prime Minister Mark Carney said on Canada Day that he will only sign a deal that's in the best interests of Canada and Canadians. But that leaves a lot up to interpretation, as a former Foreign Affairs Minister is noting.
Who chooses the best interest? He said, okay, we're going to test this in the parliamentary system. That's why we have a parliamentary system. You don't rely upon one man. I think we're all getting a little nervous about leaders who kind of speak ex cathedra. They're the only ones that have the truth. And Mr. Carney is a good man. He's an intelligent man, but is the only arbiter of what's in the best interest of Canada. Isn't it? I mean, we've seen in the legislation the government's brought forward the indifference to Indigenous rights. We've seen the difference to civil liberties issues. We've seen the difference to the rights of refugees. That's not in the best interest of Canada.
Even if Canada is not on the list of Trump's tariff letters that he wants to send out, Trump's latest salvo reinforces two challenges for Canadian negotiators. Trump believes in tariffs, while Canada wants them gone. And Trump does not like complicated solutions. And yet Trump himself said when he was in Canada for the G7 that Carney's ideas for a trade deal are complex. Karina Roman, CBC News, Ottawa.